Welcome to our podcast. I'm Jess.
I'm Mandy.
And we are drama bonded. And today we are going to talk about allegedly the 25 most eligible bachelors.
Allegedly.
And, but probably, before we get to that, we've got to cover our favorite Islanders. Boy, did just everything happen between the last time we podcasted and now. Like everything. So we have a lot to cover.
But should we start with the candy review?
Yeah, I was going to say, we have a very, very, very special candy review.
Candy reviews with Mandy.
It's pretty special.
I know.
Okay, guys. I know you've all eaten an Airhead, but have you had a grape Airhead? Now stop. Think about it, because the answer might be no. They're pretty hard to find. And I only say this because I had my first grape Airhead last year, I think. And man, mind blown. Where have these been all my life? And then once I realized how hard they are to find, it became like an obsession.
Yeah. We probably don't want to talk about the means with which the grape Airheads were secured.
Well, you can't.
No laws were broken.
So, just to geek out on this a little bit, obviously, if you go to a gas station or a grocery store, sometimes they have the boxes of the full-size Airheads in each of the flavors, but they usually don't have grape. The only time I've seen a box of grape Airheads for sale was in Nashville, and I bought all of the ones that were left in the box. So it might be a regional thing. Maybe people in the South are like, yeah, grape Airheads are everywhere. Like, I don't know.
Right, and just in the West.
Yeah.
Dumb.
And then they used to be a part of, there's like a package of 5 full-size Airheads you can buy. And the grape Airhead used to be in there until they kicked it out for maybe strawberry.
They should have gotten rid of orange.
Because strawberry's pink. Yes?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, strawberries.
Cherry's red.
Cherry. Man, I can't even remember anymore, but I definitely have eaten grape Airheads before. I love all Airheads except orange. White's kind of a disappointment,
I don't like orange
too.
either.
Orange almost unanimously in anything
Is bad.
However, when I see it in baked goods, I think like orange flavored is excellent, but artificial orange, not it.
See, I don't like orange in baked goods either.
That's really okay. Okay, good to know. I think I do know that, but okay.
So you can also get them in the Costco-sized bulk boxes of Airheads.
Which is an unreasonable amount of Airheads to purchase if you're just going to eat the grape.
Especially if you live alone.
Yeah. Even if you live with one other person.
All I'm saying is they're hard to come by. And if you are a grape flavor fan, the grape Airheads are just really special. And it's almost like a holographic Pokemon card. Like, who knows when you're going to find one.
Wow. Yeah. I'm really grateful that you shared with me. Thank you.
Are you grateful?
I'm grateful.
Yes. What did you think of I know you've had one, but
I think artificial grape is really good. I also really like grape Laffy Taffy.
Ooh,
a lot.
Also very good.
Banana is my favorite, but ultimately I love grape too. I always fish the purple and yellow ones out. So I do feel like I enjoy grape in this genre of candy a lot, and an Airhead is no different. I think it's the right amount of sweet. I think it hits that like grape note. It feels like childhood.
1000%.
Yeah.
Can we go on a quick tangent?
Mm-hmm.
You know the really large sized taffies you can buy individually at gas stations?
Yes.
Is that a Laffy Taffy or is that a Tangy Taffy?
I was always under the impression that it was Laffy Taffy, but it could be tangy.
I wonder if it used to be Tangy Taffy and now it's Laffy Taffy.
I do not know.
Well, the other day, I bought a grape one at the gas station, as one does.
Mm-hmm.
It was the softest taffy I have ever had. It actually it was so soft that it's almost like the normal kind of hard, sticky taffy and a marshmallow had a baby.
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. What do you think of that?
It was fucking fantastic.
You loved it.
It was so special. I felt like it was the freshest piece of candy I'd ever had.
And in reality, it's probably just so processed it can't fully come back together.
But I think I think that a lot of the candies that you have just been sitting there for so long.
That's very true.
That is hard.
Yeah. That also can make a really big difference on enjoyability. Well, good. I'm glad you got a very fresh Laffy Taffy or Tangy Taffy grape.
But don't you think the texture of those big ones is different than the smaller ones?
Oh, absolutely it is. Yeah, it's not the same thing.
That's why I was like, I don't think it's a Laffy Taffy.
But I think it's done by the same people, so it is, because it's even got like the jokes in the wrapper.
Do you remember the watermelon one that used to have black watermelon seeds in it?
Yes, I did not love that one the most. There was one that had like actual sweet tarts in it.
I think it was blue. Wait, maybe?
Maybe, I don't know. There was a couple different, like, then there was one that just sort of had like crispy pieces in it.
Maybe that's the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah, I don't know. So I liked the one with the sweet tart thing in it. I think it was like cherry or something, and I haven't seen that one in a really long time. But yeah, I think those are the bomb, and they're really good. But they are not Laffy. They hit a different spot than the little Laffy Taffy.
Yeah, because the texture's different, and it's kind of a mouth workout.
Mm-hmm.
That sounded sexual. Anyways, that's a good transition to Love Island.
Wow. Wow. What a mess. What a glorious, beautiful mess that has been so much fun to watch. I don't know. I'm so glad we did it. Came for Ariana, stayed for these amazing people.
This has been an incredible gift.
It really has. I needed this show this summer. And it's so good. It's so good. And I keep thinking, these people don't know how famous they are.
Oh,
They don't know how huge of a hit this has been.
I will admit that when Jess was like, we should try watching this for the podcast, I was a little apprehensive because I had heard that the US Love Island was never good. And I feel like I tried a few episodes of one season and couldn't get into it.
Same, yeah. It was definitely US.
And, Ariana got this role. We love her, want to support her. I'm so glad that you brought this up and we invested in it for the pod. But I just have to say, if you are not watching, you need to watch.
You do need to watch.
Like, if you enjoy reality television, you need to watch.
Yeah, this group of people have been phenomenal. Like,
a treat.
Totally. And I think a treat on top of all of this, like the creme de la creme has been also the women's friendship and the camaraderie and sisterhood is just like
very unique.
It is. It's like
especially on reality television.
Yes, the way that they have had each other's backs. Serena said it best. I support women's rights and I support women's wrongs. And especially the three of them have just shown up for each other. Liv and Kaylor too. Like, just all of it has just been so fucking delightful to watch. Like, I love these women. It's so good.
I even the whole, well, I'll say in like the last few episodes, now that we've kind of gotten to this core group.
Yeah.
I just feel like they all really care and support each other in a very obvious way. And that's also a unique thing on reality TV.
Yes, not to get ahead, but Rob and Serena saying goodbye to each other. Like, man, it's obvious that these guys mean something to one another for sure.
Yeah.
So that, even like, for as frustrating as they are and as many necks as I want to wring, like, there's no denying these people like each other.
Yeah.
And that's so cool to see. So they can't be complete pieces of shit. So
I think in the beginning, they didn't know each other as well. It was a little bit more basic bitch reality television dynamic where, there's a lot more tea, a lot more shade, a lot more drama. But the fact that it is distilled down to this like family of delightful people is surprising and so enjoyable.
Absolutely. I am so invested. I'm so excited to see what they're all up to. I'm excited for them to come out of the house and like hear interviews and podcasts with them. Like, man, I haven't felt this way, in a long time it's been like, I guess a couple seasons ago of Big Brother was like this level, but this is something kind of different and I'm here for it. We got this off of a dating reality TV show that is notorious for being bad.
Yep.
So, okay.
So I feel like we need to talk about the men coming back from Casa.
Oh.
And I have a lot of things to say.
Do you want to just open it up?
Yes, because here's the thing. I don't think Cordell... Well, no. I was going to say I don't think he's dumb. He is dumb. And this, I feel like Cordell and Aaron... Well, Aaron didn't bring someone back. Who was the other? Oh, Kenny. I feel like Cordell and Kenny and Miguel bringing someone back right? Those
Yep,
three
yep.
is a bigger symbol for men, what it's like to date men right now.
Okay.
It's like they like you, but they want the option if someone's better than you.
Yeah.
I think them bringing women back in the house, they weren't thinking about the women.
Mm-mm.
I think they were just thinking about, well, if she's with a guy, I need to keep my options open. And what if my connection's better with this person? Like, to me, it was very obvious they weren't thinking about the women that they were coming back to and maybe what that woman was doing.
Yeah, they were. That was a pretty selfish play.
They
on
were
their
thinking
part.
with their dicks.
Yep. And thinking with their dicks, and also just not recognizing, like, also when, it's talked about exploring, as Kaylor said, it's fucking having conversations. It's getting to know another person to see if you have like
A connection.
Not let's do everything.
Dry humping.
Making out. Yeah, like they
Sharing intimate kisses in the morning.
yeah, like damn, they took it too far. That was in essence cheating, right? Like it's not because they're not closed off.
Yeah, they're not closed off.
But like the way that they approached that was really shady. It wasn't like they were given a free pass. It was like, well, you can of course go talk to people. Nobody expected them to all come back with somebody that it had already like progressed that far with even.
Right.
Yeah, that was wild.
On the one hand with Cordell, it's true. Serena did take a long time to kind of get to where she was before Casa. She said she's a slow burn. She obviously has trust issues from past relationships.
Well, but also, I want to interject here. It's also obvious she comes from a very, at least Christian leaning background. And I'm sure she did not want to be looking a certain way to her family on television.
That's fair.
So anyway, continue.
I guess what I'm saying is there's one camp that's like, Serena didn't give Cordell the validation and the security earlier. And so, of course, he wants to be open and explore because he doesn't feel secure with Serena. But I also just feel like before he went into Casa, Serena did validate him and they did start building that security. And he should know her well enough to know that if he goes in there and explores the way he did, that he is burning that bridge with her.
Yeah, and he's fucking lucky that he didn't. Yeah, absolutely. Especially listening to the way that Cordell went into Casa, that clearly a conversation had happened like the night before, that morning, whatever it was, where it was really obvious to Serena that she was all in, and it should have been to him too.
Yeah.
It should have been. Yeah, that was really, he was the most disappointing, but then also I would just like to take one little step back, and I'm not really going to like give it to him. He's fucking 22 years old.
He's 22.
And like, damn, if I also didn't do stupid ass shit at 22 years old. And then you learn a lesson. You're like, right, never going to do that again. And it sucks. And it's not to excuse it, but it's kind of like he might be dumb, but he's also 22.
It's one thing to do what he was doing with Dea, which, don't get me wrong, she's beautiful. She knew what to say. She was gunning for him from the beginning. So it's one thing to do what he did in Casa with Dea, but it's another thing to fucking bring her back. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, completely agree.
What did you think was going to happen? Bringing Dea back into the villa?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Miguel knew what he was doing.
Yeah, he was like, I want to continue to get to know both of you.
And Ariana's like, yeah, but
you're in a couple.
Yeah, just so we're clear. Miguel, but also Leah knew, right? Like it was really obvious that Leah knew. And that's a very different situation.
Because they were a new couple.
Like literally that day, or the day before, night before. And whereas like Kenny and Cordell knew where they stood with these women, and they weren't willing to have faith in them. They weren't willing to consider that the relationship.
I feel like Kenny and Miguel was similar to. I feel like Kenny was similar to Miguel.
I do, but I also Kenny was so fucking stupid coming back and being like, "But I needed to test the connection."
No, 1,000%.
Kenny,
but Kenny and Janae had not been coupled up that long.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
I do think that Janae. While yes, I agree, Kenny was stupid bringing a girl back if he wanted to be with Janae.
That is more what I meant. Like, it just seemed like Kenny didn't even really know why he brought Catherine back. And that was just an extension of like, fucking think.
Which is really rude to Catherine.
So, I felt so bad for all the women at that recoupling. It's just like the Casa girls coming in, though they needed to like calm their tits a little. Like, ladies. Did you really think you would just like come into what did you think was going to happen here? However, like, it sucks that the men put all of them in this situation.
Totally.
Without any sort of warning or just nothing. Like, ew.
And as a woman, it frustrated me that the women coming in from Casa were immediately upset at the Villa women.
Me too.
You shouldn't be upset at them. You should be upset at these fucking men.
Yes. Direct
like,
the
oh my
anger
gosh.
appropriately. I know they're like
They're
all
such bitches.
in a pile on each other. Like, yeah.
They hate us. And then Kaylor and Olivia are like, hi, nice to meet you.
Kaylor. Liv was like, bitch, I'm just going to eat this salsa. But yeah, fucking, I love Kaylor. Man, does she deserve better. But also, I just want to talk about Aaron coming out and seeing Kaylor alone and thinking like,
yeah,
he'd won it all. He thought in that moment he'd won the whole show. He was like, we're making it to the end. And I love that it did not go for him the way that he thought.
I mean, in a way.
I mean, yeah, he got exactly.
She forgave him in like 5 seconds.
And every time something new came up, within, a few minutes, she just folded.
Just give Kaylor a seashell and she'll be fine.
Also, it was Rob that gave Aaron that idea for the seashell. Like, that wasn't even Aaron.
I don't know if Kaylor knows that she's actually dating Rob and his advice.
Yes. That's the hookup we need outside of this, is for Kaylor and Rob to realize that they love each other.
Because Aaron is only showing up for Kaylor based on Rob's advice.
That's a movie, right? Isn't there somebody that like writes love letters for somebody else and then it like all just becomes a little bit of a mess? So yeah, we just have our modern day, whatever story that is, on reality TV. And Kaylor and Rob need to get together.
There you go.
Way better than Aaron.
I am still disappointed that the Rob and Olivia thing went nowhere.
Just gone.
Just died.
Yeah. That might have been a desperate attempt by Rob to like be safe, not knowing that Casa was coming.
But wasn't he with Cassidy, or what was her name?
That is right. Maybe he was.
I feel like he was with her and he went out of his way to talk to Olivia. And that's why I got excited.
Yeah, that was going to be cute. That's a slow burn. There we go.
Yeah, because they were coupled up. She even admitted when I first came into the villa, I was so nervous. I wasn't myself. I was really uptight. And then they got to know each other. And I thought it was cute that like after they had spent more time together, he's like, you're different. You're not who I originally got to know. And I like you.
Yeah, that was sweet.
So I'm just bummed that just fizzled out.
Yeah, I am too. But who knows what's going to happen out of the house?
I mean, mostly just because Rob's hot and I love Olivia and get some,
Absolutely.
Should we talk about movie night?
Wow, movie night.
Guys.
It killed me that also the men knew all the answers to the sex questions. Like,
yeah, they did.
Also, did you catch Kaylor on the masturbating question? She's like, let's think about our dads. And I think what she meant was like, they're not beating it off all the time, right? So like general population wise, it's probably not 31 days a month. But I love it because out of context,
yeah,
Kaylor,
let's think about our dads.
Let's think about our dads. I'm sure every woman there was like, absolutely yes. This is great.
So here's something. I guess, the heart rate challenge and movie night, these are things that happen in every season.
Yeah.
So if you go on this show, I feel like you should do your homework, kind of know what's going to happen in some of these challenges that are repeated. Why would you go fucking do the shit you did in Casa?
Well, because look at the edit Rob got. Like Leah should not have been apologizing as profusely to Rob as she was. And yet that was the fucking edit we got, we know that, but the villagers don't know, or the Islanders don't know what that is. And so I don't know. It's wild to me. But yeah, I'm with you. I think it's also wild to me. Like, why? Why would you do that? You're going to get caught. If you're giving the producer something juicy, it most likely is going to be used. These guys are dumb. Or they just thought they would get away with it. I don't know. Maybe they're just so pretty that they're just used to their not really being, and they're young. Like, how many consequences have there been for them yet?
And don't get me wrong, people are always going to put their foot in their mouths. We're always going to do something we regret. You're supposed to be a little messy in this setting, but I just feel like
That was too
God
messy.
damn, those boys are dumb.
So dumb.
The fact that Aaron immediately got defensive and was reacting the way he was reacting.
What did you see? Or like, yeah, or I've already said I'm sorry.
Yeah, like this was my experience.
Ew, this was my experience. That is like weaponization of therapy 101 right there.
I just feel the fact that he was making her feel like she shouldn't, there was no room for her to feel what she was feeling is so fucking bad. It was emotional abuse.
It was emotional abuse. It actually,
the way he responded to her was emotional abuse.
Yeah, I feel really bad for Kayla. I hope that when she gets out of the house, she has time to take in all of this information and reassess her being with Aaron. And I really feel for her in this setting because, like, she doesn't have. I mean, I think the girls are absolutely her friend, but also it's not like they want to encourage Kayla to have beef with Aaron and like really mess everything up. And like they may not even know the level at which he is gaslighting and, you know, emotionally abusing Kayla. Like it's not obvious to them, perhaps. So like I kind of like it's wild to watch it happen and Kayla just like what's she gonna do? I'm a little nervous for her coming out of the house.
Well, even when he decides to tell her that he loves her, it's a moment of manipulation.
Ew, and he like kisses her aggressively. That was so.
They're in a fight,
Yep.
and he basically tells her he loves her so that she'll stop being upset at him.
Yep.
And stop talking.
Like, why wouldn't you want that to be a nice moment? Save that for a time when, like, I don't know, you're both going to remember that fondly. Not like, hey, do you remember how we were just like fighting over you being a complete twat in Casa and then you screamed at me that you love me? That's romantic. No. Ugh, Aaron sucks.
But Kayla, unfortunately, also enables him to suck.
I don't know if I completely. She does. And I hope that, like, she comes around out of the house. I keep calling it the house. Big Brother has started, you guys, and I'm very clearly excited. The house, the villa. I think she's cut off from enough people and doesn't have all of the information to really fully recognize how bad it is. I mean, especially with people, all of the other Islanders being like, he loves you. Look at what he's doing. Like, there's all this reinforcement of Aaron's behavior and no validation of her feelings.
That's fair.
And so,
I just don't know how everyone watched what happened at movie night with the way he reacted and didn't hold him more accountable.
Well, we got kind of our red flag of that when Andrea got evicted, dumped, and he was screaming at all of the women. And it's like, that is a huge indication of Aaron's temperament, what he's more inclined to do. And it is very clear that he is more inclined to be angry and lash out at women than have like an intelligent emotional response. So I don't know. And I'm with you. I'm shocked that like, I don't know how people don't clock that. Ariana has.
So we haven't really talked about this on the podcast, but Aaron's been on 2 previous reality TV shows.
I only knew of one.
So he was on the first season of Traders UK and he won.
Yeah, he won is something though, I can't remember the word, but he wasn't manipulative. He won is like somebody being honest.
So he wasn't the traitor?
No.
Okay, but still. It's
yeah, no.
It's a game of...
Yes, he's used to playing a game. And I think he is gamifying this.
And then I think he went on another dating show. I don't remember what it was called, but I think he went on another dating show.
Okay. That's wild. Yeah. I don't trust Aaron. I think he's shady as shit.
I just feel like that's important to know.
That is very important to know.
I feel like he definitely came on the show with an agenda or to win or to manipulate the situation to look a certain way. And I'm really glad they got voted off.
I'm so glad they got voted off.
It really bummed me out, though, that Kayla was like so surprised at America's voting and that they were in the bottom.
I know. But also kind of good. Like, At least she was being pensive and sort of thinking about
Yeah.
that. Like, she wasn't all over Aaron after the fact.
But Erin was immediately said, I think it's because of what I did at Casa. And she's like, no, I don't think that's it. And I just wanted to be like, Kaylor.
Well, she did acknowledge, she was like, maybe it's because I'm a pushover and I took him back too fast. And I was like,
that was some good self-awareness.
like, yes.
Because I think it's a combination.
Absolutely, it's both. Because you're right. I don't want to like absolve Kaylor entirely. But the flip side of it is I think she deserves a lot of grace and space given the circumstances that she is in. Like, there is literally like nobody backing up the narrative that is so colossally fucked what happened. Like, those guys suck for this reason.
That's a little weird though that the women aren't like, Kaylor,
I do think it's
pay attention to these things.
Well, Cassie was out there doing her best.
Yeah.
Given that line. I mean, Liv has given interviews saying that if she had known it was that bad, she would have not been as keen on it. This is a moment where they're so young. It's like, I don't think they don't know if they've got the leg to stand on to like say to their friend, hey, I think this is a really bad idea when their friend is so invested in this person.
Because I feel like when Serena was not all in Cordell, all the guys were like, Cordell, she's got you. Like,
I know. Well,
I just felt like they were super anti-Serena really fast as far, not anti-Serena as the person, but for Cordell, they were like, she doesn't have your best interests at heart. Like, she's being shady. Like, you need to watch out for you. And I just think it's interesting that the women aren't kind of doing more of that for Kaylor, I guess.
Yeah. I do have to wonder if it's just a matter of like what they feel like they can actually convince Kaylor of.
That's fair.
Without making the whole thing really awkward. And I'm not saying that that's right, but I think that is, they should say something. But again, they don't know the full extent of it either because all of the guys are kind of lying about it. Like, they're not being perfectly transparent.
It's like a bro code to the max.
It really is. And in that sense, that makes me mad because I think these guys have really done all of the women in Casa or in the villa dirty in that
1,000%.
sense. And in Casa, if we're being honest. Like, fuck it. These guys suck in that sense. Yeah. It bugs me that none of them had any backbones to like come back and support the, Serena and Kaylor, like the way that they should have.
Yeah.
They should have held Aaron's feet to the fire and instead they're just like, yeah, we got you, bro. It's fine. Nobody's going to say anything. Ew. Gross. I hated that. Yeah. Aaron. I don't know. Thank God they're off our show.
Bye.
We have one more episode. But they didn't win. That would have been just a real kick in the teeth to the end of a good season to have Aaron and Kaylor win. Okay, so movie night. Anything else we want to cover there? Obviously, I think Rob got way too generous of an edit.
I think the producers love Rob.
They have to, right? Because like when you referred to Rob as a cat, like this man just has 9 lives. Like he just, and then later.
Well, he referred to himself as a cat and I was like, he's right.
Right, he's a cat. Yep, there you go. Yeah, that was wild that he made it that far. Not having any couple really.
I will say something that really bothered me of like the outcome of movie night was Rob's attitude towards Daniela.
Yes, I felt like that was, I
feel like he was kind of slut-shaming her.
Absolutely.
Which was very confusing to me because he knew what happened in Casa. He was
knew.
aware of everything.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, so in Casa, he's like, hey, Daniela, like, we should couple up. And then we watch this movie night. He sees all of this aftermath. And all of a sudden, now he has a conscience of the fact that she was, like, going after his friend. And he feels like they have to slow things down.
Ew.
And he's making her feel ashamed for, like, going for Aaron and then going for him. I just feel like that was fucked up. He went for her as much as she went for him.
Absolutely. And like Rob, nobody gets to slut shame in this show. You're all doing
sluts.
Yeah, and like lean in, have fun. That makes great television. Thank you. We appreciate
Be
it.
slutty.
But like, don't you dare come after another person for doing it. And I totally agree. I thought Daniela really got done dirty with that. Like that sucked, especially because it sort of came also at the expense of Kaylor. Like, okay, so we got to see all that, and somehow still Aaron is not having to take full responsibility for his shit. And also now Daniela is collateral damage of having to show all of this. I don't know. That bummed me out too. I feel like I was at least happy to see, even though Liv and Leah started fighting, Janae was like, everybody bring it back together. And Leah and Liv got to they got it together. But man, the girls really had a rough go at movie night, I feel like.
I do feel like there's this pattern on this show where the women tend to apologize to the men way more than they should.
Yes.
And I don't know how that's what's happening. Like the fact that Leah sat there and apologized to Rob, I'm like, girl, stop.
Yeah.
Stop.
Roll the actual footage of Rob crying crocodile tears over having to pick between two extremely hot women and not being honest with one of them.
And then all of a sudden making himself the victim and having a freak out.
Yeah, like how the fuck did that even happen? That makes me mad. I forgot. I had kind of gotten over it, and now I'm like not over it again.
Well, and just the way like Rob was so high and mighty in the way that he addressed her.
I know that he was like, "I forgive you. It's okay." I'm like, I want to slap that smug little look off your face because God, yeah, no. And I'm excited for Leah to get out of the house and realize that she did not owe that man that apology.
No. And even when he was leaving, she still has a hard on for him, like 1,000%.
Okay.
I mean, I do too. I get it.
Yeah, I was like, we all do. I was texting you about my love-hate relationship with Rob, and then he pulled Leah, and I'm like, we end on a love note. Like,
I think that was nice of him to pull her.
I think so too. She deserved that, and had he not, like, I think he was going to have a rude awakening coming out of the house. But it also kind of pisses me off. Like, he fucking knew.
He fucking knew.
He knew.
He's smart.
Yeah, he's not. Yes, he is smart.
And beautiful.
Yeah. We'll get to that. It's a snake to wrangle.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that was a bummer about movie night. Hated that. Really sad for Daniela.
I think that's anything else from movie night?
No, I think we got it.
Should we do the heart race challenge?
Oh, Mandy.
I was not prepared.
I didn't know either. Because sometimes that stuff can be like really like deeply secondhand embarrassment, just like want out of my skin, can't handle it. And
it was a joy to watch.
I was laughing.
My heart was racing.
Hollering. I know. I'm like, I am turned on by everybody.
I just want to say that I don't know if I could actually do this challenge.
I think if I felt comfortable with the people, Cassie, I feel really bad for. I feel like Cassie situation is nightmare level, having to come in and do that. But I think when you have a rapport and they were all standing, both the men and the women as they went, were standing on the balcony cheering each other on. I think the group getting danced for, the guys and the girls were really receptive, right? Like they tried to like really lean into the performance. So I think it was a good environment. I bet in that circumstance you could do this.
Okay, top 2 men, top 2 women.
Okay. Fucking Rob.
Oh my God.
That man walked out and I was like, I get it. I would also be enthralled with the toxic, not giving me anything, me following him around like a little lost puppy dog. 1,000% me.
Oh my God. The oiled abs with the hat and the boots. Like, what are we
and
even
he puts the scarf
about?
Around Leah's neck.
Jesus.
And I was just like, I am with all of those Leah and Rob shippers. I get it, guys. I get it.
What did he say to her? He said something like, you miss me?
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah.
Rob and Miguel. And then when Miguel held his hand in the fire and then choked Leah with that hand, I mean, that man just oozes sex appeal when he wants to.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and then obviously for me, Leah with her comedy act
that was really smart. I feel like that's an angle I would have to do.
Right. She didn't do any dancing.
Yeah, it's a little just more like
stethoscope
teasy.
Up to Kenny's dick, throbbing. I'm a squirter. Like,
no, so smart.
So good. It was
so
amazing.
Smart.
And the fact that it turned Rob on the most, I loved it. She
like
knew.
Leah, hell yes. That is the valid, like she deserved that.
Oh,
like standing ovation.
Absolutely.
Good for you.
And then Janae coming out and going for Kenny first and then like making a point of making him watch. And she just like ground her body on those men.
Dude, that ass is magic.
what is it? You have a fat ass.
You're a bad bitch with a fat ass.
Yes. We send everybody that energy. Thank you, Janae.
Jess and I are going to start telling ourselves that in the mirror.
Just every morning. Bad bitch, fat ass.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you, Janae.
Oh,
she's a
man.
national treasure. That was incredible. I thought she was so smoking hot. And it made me sad that here's the thing too about heart rate that I just want to clarify. Like that is not like the best way to gauge this because there are a lot of things that can get your heart rate going. Just the discomfort or
Totally.
like the awkwardness of watching Kaylor come out and her being first. And like Kaylor's not an unattractive woman. Like
No.
She's very cute. She came out in a cheerleader thing. She probably had a couple things going for her kink wise. Like I'm sure that it was just like overwhelming for Kenny to like have, I'm sure Janae turned him the fuck on. Like he is not ever going to forget that performance by Janae.
Well, can we talk about how Cordell turned on 3 of the women the most? And his was like the goofiest. Like to me, it was the least sexy.
But it was funny.
It was funny. But I'm surprised that it got 3 of the women because I actually expected Cordell to be the sexiest based on his like sports challenge performance.
Absolutely.
That man can do things with his hips that none of those other guys can do.
It's so true.
Yeah, like
He's
he is
22.
athletic, he is spry.
Yeah.
And then when he came out doing like the funny bit, I was kind of surprised and he still got 3 of the women.
Okay, well laughing will raise your heart rate.
Oh, okay, there you go. Maybe he knew that.
And yeah, like game the system. I think that it works so well for Cordell. His was my favorite. His wasn't the sexiest, but it, like in my heart of hearts, like watching him do that was so comical, but like done well.
Serena loved it.
And like I do think that a man who can actually be funny and look that good doing it, that is hot as hell.
That's true.
So,
that's true.
But again, heart rate. I think part of it was they were laughing. And not that he didn't deserve to also spike their heart rates, but you know.
Dear God, I would say Rob. And then, I don't know. I kind of liked Kenny's athlete bit.
Kenny. Yeah, coming out.
I have gotten to like Kenny so much more than I used to.
Too. That has maybe been the biggest surprise of the season for me is I'm team Kenny, like all the way.
Yeah.
I love them together.
I love that they're able to just be more themselves around each other and that makes them the best little couple.
Yeah.
Because they can be silly and funny and I don't know, he is willing to kind of he plays her game. Does that make sense?
Yes,
like
and he seems so into it.
Yeah, she's so over the top and he just like eats it up.
Yeah, they're perfect for each other. I think like he knows to like it's like Janae is also like really laying it on thick. And you're right, he is just eating it up, but that's exactly what Janae needs him to do. That's the best response Janae can get. Like is somebody to just be so devoted to her in that way. I love that.
I do have to say when they were doing was it the newlywed game or was it I don't know, the one where it was who knows the most about their partner?
Oh, yeah. Mr. and Mrs.
The fact that they live in a villa together and don't know what kind of coffee or that one of them doesn't even drink coffee.
Well,
what?
Okay, here's the thing. There were more questions for Janae and Kenny. And the producers really only gave us like they gave them one worse questions. That was like skewed. So I feel like
no, the point is every morning they're having breakfast together and you should notice if someone's drinking coffee or not.
Okay, yes, Janae should have noticed that.
And Kenny should have noticed too. Kenny didn't notice Janae doesn't drink coffee.
She drinks coffee.
No, she doesn't drink coffee.
I thought it was Kenny that didn't drink.
Kenny drinks black coffee.
That's right.
I was just like, how do you guys not know this about each other? I just feel like coffee is so important in my relationships that would be one of the first things I figured out about someone.
1,000% yes. But I will say this. I was late to the coffee game, and it was Saul and his sister that turned me on to, maybe even more so his sister, turned me on to like drinking coffee at home and not just doing like Starbucks lattes. And then so I was kind of in that age where like if I had landed on this show at 22, I don't know if I would have been paying attention to coffee either.
I feel like
I know Janae is 27, but Kenny is not. So
I feel like you're being a devil's advocate right now.
I am, but the coffee thing, you're right. I guess man, they're young. They're young. That's
Anyways, okay, what do we want to talk about next?
I hated that Aaron smashed Kaylor's face into a cake.
Oh, I hated that too.
That really made me want to riot. I like that. Fuck that guy.
I loved watching Rob head smash the cake and then react and be like, oh God, that was way harder than I thought.
Right. I would like to point out that Rob has never baked, because if you know anything
About
fondant and like just how much fucking cakes weigh, like when you start really stacking cakes, baked goods are not light.
Probably felt like you got punched in the face.
Yeah, I would 1,000%. That was really satisfying to watch, though.
Yeah, he deserved it.
He did. I'm trying to think if there's anything challenge-wise. I do want to say justice for Dea. The tweet that production found, or the sort of like receipt sort of that she was in OBJ's. No, is that?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, that's really going to throw me. Anyway, it was not real. It was photoshopped. So they did not do their due diligence.
But then she was saying that it partially was true.
Right. But the smoking gun, so to speak, was the fact that her boyfriend, or the one that like gained traction was photoshopped.
That's too bad.
Yeah, that is too bad. The tweet game was brutal.
Yeah. I don't think that they should support cyberbullying.
Yeah, I do think that that's actually, I'm glad that we came to this. There have been, trigger warning, we're going to talk about suicide. There have been suicides actually by previous hosts and contestants of this show, and that bullying played a part in it. So I do think that there is a level of extreme irresponsibility by doing that. And like Liv was really crushed by that. And the comment wasn't even really true. Like it just was sort of some person's opinion. One person.
Yeah, like why are you rewarding these people for
saying really shitty
trashy things
about people that they don't know? Like we see the Islanders, we see what they want us to see, we see the edited version of them. Like I think Aaron being an extreme exception in this moment, but like even that, like do not go to people's pages and say horrible things. Don't like, I don't know. Ugh, these are people. These are not like, you can't do that.
No.
It's not okay. So that really sucks. Did not like that challenge. Felt like that was pretty shitty. Anything else kind of related to that?
No.
Okay. I guess I wanted to ask you, who was the worst and why is it Aaron? I feel like
we kind of already talked about that.
Who do you think is going to win? Who do you think will win? Who do you want to win? Let's talk winning.
I mean, I really want Serena and Cordell to win, and I think that they will win.
I voted for them.
I didn't vote.
I downloaded the app to vote, even though it's probably like stealing all my data and, you know.
I think that Kendall and Nicole will actually probably do pretty well in the real world.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know, I don't know. They also seem like they could be playing a game.
I don't want Kendall and Nicole to win, but I do think that they will do well in the real world just because I feel like it took them a lot to get where they are. And I do think that they have things in common. And I don't know. I see them making it.
Interesting.
Also, Kendall's sister is... Okay, she kind of just looks like a female version of him, but she's stunning.
Just mind-blowingly beautiful.
Stunning. Apparently, Kendall is more attractive as a woman.
Yeah.
Because didn't they look exactly the same?
I know. Those two hit like the lottery.
Also, their mom was beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely. That is a beautiful family. I know. I was really blown away by his sister too. And she was fun. I liked her. Taylor.
But you don't think they're going to make it?
Listen,
I know you don't like Kendall.
I do not
But
like
can you
Kendall.
speak objectively about the relationship and not Kendall?
No, I cannot. I voted for... No, I don't think they are actually being received as well. And I would say that I kind of witnessed when Kaylor and Aaron got eliminated, Nicole and Kendall were pissed. And like, we're not happy. And I think that was sort of a wake up call for them that they may not be top of the food chain either.
And they're very competitive.
Yeah, they are. So I kind of, and like based on just sort of Reddit, a lot of people don't like them. Reddit doesn't like them. So that's, I guess, where I should come from with that.
Side note, Miguel and Leah rowing that boat was one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
Yes, we also probably should have talked about that challenge. I was obsessed. That also was so fucking funny to me. The hobby horse. Serena and Cordell did the most.
They're the most athletic people in the group, for sure.
She's like actually like just like sprinting, lunging over those things.
Beautiful.
That was wild to watch her do that. And then to keep a stupid stick horse, like that, I don't know if anybody like does jumps of any kind or like does.
It was super impressive.
Yeah, that's actually really kind of hard to do, to jump like that and then also be holding a stick between your fucking legs.
And she was so high up. She was like flying.
Yeah, amazing.
In beautiful poses.
Only Serena could make that look
Track
that good.
goddess.
Absolutely. I mean, Kenny and Janae were also so good. That was cracking me up. I was here for it. I love Kenny, like,
yeah,
and like
he was being. I think the horse was riding him actually.
Yes, absolutely. Cracked me up though. That was good. And then yeah, Leah and Miguel. Oh my god, those two also feel like they've. I know that there's like they're surprised that they are in the top 4, but they actually have like a really good little thing
I like
going.
them. I understand why they're surprised they're in the top 4.
I am too.
I'm also surprised they're in the top 4, but I do like them.
Are you surprised?
I mean, I'm not surprised. Well, for me, it was like 50-50. Aaron and Kayla or Leah and Miguel.
I actually think that's fair because
it
we
wasn't
can't trust.
Obvious.
We can't trust America to vote for things. So yeah, no, I get you. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I guess I kind of figured it was going to go that way because I am deeply entrenched in Reddit. Like when the show comes, like when it hits Peacock, I get on Reddit and there's a post where all of us just post as we're watching. Man, people do not like Aaron. So I kind of felt like that, but I guess like if I didn't have that context, I too would be like, I don't know, this is going to be bad because there are people who absolutely support Aaron and Kayla as a couple.
I also feel like Kayla could carry them.
I know, because Kayla is so funny. She kills me.
And earnest.
I know.
And young.
Fuck.
Aaron, fuck.
I don't know. She kills me. But yeah, you're right. She could totally carry. Serena and Cordell. Kendall and Nicole maybe gonna do well outside.
Yeah.
Serena and Cordell for me. All the way.
All the way.
All the way.
We love you.
I mean, I really want Janae and Kenny. I would be really bummed with Kendall and Nicole, but the other 3, I mean, I would be delighted if any one of them won with a preference towards Serena and Cordell, Janae and Kenny, Leah and Miguel.
Kenny.
Oh my God. She's so funny. She has been a delight to have on our television this summer.
Side tangent.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so glad Kane went home. I just found his voice was like nails on a chalkboard to me.
It was. I couldn't stand him either. I was just like, yes, awesome. Goodbye, Kane. And then the way he responded to Sierra, he's also so salty. I've
heard that.
Yeah.
I just feel like there wasn't really anything redeeming. Like, I wasn't super attracted to the tats, which I do like tats. I just felt like
they were bad tattoos.
Yeah, the Asian symbols on the neck to me was a little deaf.
Well, the angel holding literally a bag with a $sign on
money.
It was like too much. Also, being named Kane.
Yeah,
like why
doing him any favors?
Did you change your name to that, or did your mom hate you? Like, what happened there?
And I usually love English accents, but his voice was really hard for me to listen to.
Yeah, I hated it. There was something wrong with his front teeth.
Well,
that's why, like, I think he broke them off and had to have like something put on, so it made it even harder. Yeah, just everything was not good for Kane.
Ugh. What did you think of Harrison?
What the fuck even is a gold dealer? Like, is that a job? That seems shady as fuck. Like,
I guess.
So weird to me. I don't know. He was such a nothing burger.
The women were like instantly wet.
I know. Well, he's not hard to look at. But, like, he's so fucking boring. There was nothing to that man.
His eyes were almost uncomfortable for me to look at. It was like White Walker eyes.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. That's exactly who popped
It's like
into my
Thor
head,
got
too.
bit by a White Walker.
Bummer. Yeah. No, that was just sort of, I did not pay a lot of attention to Harrison.
And I just have to say, I'm sorry, but he's like a 50% of Thor. Do not compare him to Thor.
No.
That's an insult to Chris Hemsworth.
Yes. I did almost just call him Liam, but, that might have been a bigger insult. Yeah, totally. He and Sierra, I loved that Daniela was like, they look like a rich couple. They do. And they're so boring. And let them just go out into this world. And if they want to be together, they can be a beautiful, boring couple.
And they can just pierce
together.
each other's things and adorn themselves with gold.
Pierce. I feel like I had a friend in high school who pierced her own nipple and then it got infected and we had to deal with it in the locker room. Like, I did not think adults pierce their own nipples. What are you doing? Pay somebody for that.
I don't know.
Ugh. Okay. His was also the worst heart rate dance.
Yeah.
That was uncomfortable.
Janae was so unimpressed.
Yeah. I loved that. They just like,
I do think Sierra is almost like, I'm like, how is a human this beautiful?
Yeah. Well, she does not have a lot of personality to back it up.
That's how. Okay.
So I think she gets by on being that beautiful.
All right. What do we want to end with?
So I just want to say, I feel like Kayla's mom went a little easy on Aaron, and I would like to read something that Kayla's mom posted about Aaron.
Oh, okay.
And
please do.
We're going to call this segment, What Would Mom Say?
Okay.
My heart bleeds for you, baby girl, and I wish I could take the pain, hurt you will endure. Kayla, you're a strong advocate for empowering your loved ones. Have faith and trusting one another, and most of all, your loyalty to your friends and invested allegiance to do whatever it takes for them to feel joy, experience peace, and serenity. A God-given asset you were blessed with. Honestly, I was shocked initially when you selected Aaron for a courtship. The absence of physical traits, appearance you'd otherwise insist on or must have prior to considering date potential. And even more astounding, his fragile emotional dysfunction, a caveat to verbal outbursts, tantrums, utter disrespect, and constant crying bouts reminiscent of a hormonal teenage boy. Sincere concern. Just saying. My beautiful girl, be thankful for your laughter and novel experiences you and Aaron shared, and be grateful that his self-serving motives and ingenuity are blatant and transparent to the world to see now, not later. Always rooting for you, Team Kayla.
Holy, wait, her mom wrote that?
Her mom wrote that on Facebook. That's actually only one thing she wrote. She wrote a whole nother one, but
Jesus. Well, go mom.
I know, I loved it. I was like so excited for that meet the parents moment because I was like, she's gonna rip into him, and she didn't. And then I guess I do want to ask, would you be honest with your kid on national television in that moment? Like, what would you do?
I think it'd be a very fine line where I would say something that showed how I was actually feeling, but I would probably overall be safe and support because I don't want to embarrass my child or shame them on TV.
Yeah, I kept thinking about that. Like, that really struck me. I'm like, why the fuck isn't she saying something? And it's like, okay, but let's think for a minute. Like, she probably doesn't want to call her kid out like that, or like
that
in
would
any way
really
that would
fuck up your relationship.
Yeah, and I think that could just also be really hurtful to Kayla. Like, even if she took it to heart and realized it, like, is that really the time and place?
No.
Especially knowing, like, you probably don't have influence there. So I was like, okay, I guess it does, like, it makes sense that she did not rip Aaron a new asshole in that moment.
Yeah.
But it cracked me up to find those messages.
Well, I really appreciate you finding them and sharing them.
Yeah.
Gives me a little more faith.
Yeah.
That Kayla's set up to succeed after this.
Yeah, that her family's not about this. So you wanted to talk about things you do not understand about Love Island.
Okay. There's a lot of things. I mean, I'll probably only do a few, but I've noticed that winning the challenges doesn't actually mean anything.
That is correct.
Like when they were doing the questions at movie night, like if you won, you just got to pick a video, but the videos were all going to be watched.
Yeah, I think in seasons past, the girls and the guys had different build or like different sets to pick from. So it was a little odd. It was a really forced direction this year.
And then, so when Harrison came in and he was able to take women on dates, before that, Kendall and Nicole had decided they were closed off. They weren't seeing anyone. But so Harrison picks Nicole, so she has to go on the date. Like, she doesn't have a choice.
Yeah, it kind of seemed that way,
So
didn't
she
it?
has to go on a date. And then at the end, he picked Sierra, so Kane went home. But hypothetically, if he had picked Nicole, Nicole's only option is to be in a couple with Harrison or go home.
Yeah, I guess there was a possibility that would happen, but it's also more likely that production would have like stepped in and done something different at that moment. But it sounds to me like Kane did not get along with production at all, and they were really upset with him a lot of the time. And so because of that, they just really wanted to expedite him getting the fuck out.
But I'm just asking, like, the logistics of this don't make sense to me.
No, it was a highly, highly, highly produced with a very specific intended outcome.
And then what was another thing? I just don't understand why Ariana is a part of certain things and not a part of other things.
Yeah, like why did we get Mara for the heart rate thing rather than Ariana?
When we're unveiling the final 4 couples, shouldn't that be a moment that Ariana's there and we're not doing all of this via text?
Yeah, I agree. I have no idea how that works. That is a really good question. I mean, it's similar to the hosting with like the Bachelor, Bachelorette too, right? Like,
but Jesse's more consistent.
There is consistency there.
Also, that stringy ombre dress she was wearing with the braid was incredible.
I will say it again, that whoever is styling her deserves a raise. Like, she has looked so good all season, and then amazing on after show too. Her and Mara both are like really delightful to see on television.
Yeah, up until I feel like they rewarded the winning team with videos of family, I don't think there's been any prize challenges.
No.
Or sorry, challenges have equated a prize.
I agree. Pride is obviously a big one in the household, but there was, I mean, with the Olympics one, the pink team did get to send somebody away to Hideaway.
Yeah, just also, is all the sex happening in Hideaway on camera?
That is such a good question. I have no idea, but I mean, Rob and Cassie had sex in the bedroom.
In the communal room?
Yep. Yeah. Just laying there quietly, getting down.
You would hear it.
Yeah. Did you not hear or see at one point Leah and Miguel were both kind of like having a moment in bed where they were like, they could hear Rob and Cassie and they were trying to like not laugh.
That's weird.
Yeah. Everybody's horny.
Well, finally someone had sex that wasn't in the Hideaway. I was like, how is this happening?
Well, I'm pretty sure other couples have probably had sex too. They have like a code to talk about it, I think.
Like the restaurant?
Yes. But I don't know enough about it to like speak to it, but I think that there is code there. So,
all right.
Anything else about Love Island?
Bachelorette.
Wow.
Thoughts?
Dude, I hate these guys.
Yeah.
I don't hate all of them. Like, there's just so many that we're not even getting a chance to see. And that's not true. I don't hate all of them. But, like, I am so unimpressed by...
Yeah, the group that they have put together for her is very unimpressive.
It is. I feel like the ones that are good are just not getting any time.
I feel like so far Jenn is doing an amazing job.
Yep. She's very fun.
And I feel like she has been able to stand up for herself. She's been assertive. I think she's so cute. I don't know who is styling her formal dresses, but I'm like, why do we keep making her look like Mother of the Bride?
Yeah, get out of there with those
like gold, silvers, but also just like the cut of the dress. Like, she's so cute.
Yeah, we don't need her in high neck everything.
No.
Yeah, not a fan of that.
It's very kind of similar to Rachel's styling.
Well, it's like if you're not, 5'8" and a size like 2, it seems like they're having a really hard time dressing people.
And women that have larger boobs.
Yeah, or are not. I mean, she's small, but she's also not like, I don't know, she's got curves. Yeah.
But why do they have a hard time dressing beautiful, curvy women?
I have no idea. Well, yes, welcome to our problem. This is like a perpetual problem everywhere, I feel like. It is too bad. It's lazy. The one thing I want to say is it seems like maybe they have a little bit of a budget this year because, like, they flew everybody to fucking Melbourne, Australia.
Well, I heard on a podcast that they saved like 40% in taxes filming there.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well,
So
I guess
I don't know
that's-
how long they're going to be in Australia. They could film there for a while. It could just be a cheap place to film.
Ew. Okay, well, that takes the wind out of my sails for that. Yeah, I don't know. What are your thoughts so far?
I liked the episode 1. I think I had low expectations, and so I was just pleasantly surprised. I feel like some of the limo entrances were fun. I think Jenn handled it all really well.
She did.
Yeah.
I agree. The first episode's always so boring, right? You're just like, you can't get through these stupid things fast enough. Yeah, the guys did fine.
She obviously is super into Sam M. I was really impressed she only kissed one person night 1. I don't think we've seen a night 1 like that in a long time.
Where it was very reserved.
Yeah. I feel like they usually kiss at least 2 or 3 people.
But let me tell you what, that kiss was hot.
Yeah, I mean,
She went for it, and I was like, damn.
Their sexual chemistry is off the charts, which is interesting. I had no idea she was going to pick him.
I didn't either. That was wild to me. And also, I'm nervous for her because, like, man, we've all dated that guy that just sexually we cannot get enough of. And everything else is just like red flag.
Was he a shot o'clock guy?
Yes.
Guys, shot o'clock is not a way to win over a woman.
He said that to her, and we were going in such a good direction. And even her face fell. She's like, you are so fucking dumb. And he's like, I am so fucking memorable with shot o'clock. And then Brian is shot o'clock. And then I don't remember who else was shot o'clock. But like, there were multiple. You guys, of course, stupid men would think that's funny. Man, I don't know. I guess I just am so unimpressed that it's so dramatic, and it makes me a little mad because it feels like casting could do better.
Yeah. What do you think of Sam N being a love virgin?
Right? This is tricky because I feel like on the one hand, there probably are cultural aspects to that make some sense. But then on the other side of that, it's like,
it makes everything high stakes.
It does. Like that would be something for me where I'm like, you know what? I may not be your person. Because
your first girlfriend is going to be your wife?
Yeah, that's too much. I just feel like that also doesn't fit. That doesn't seem to fit Jen's vibe too much.
Or the Bachelor.
Generally, like, is it okay that she has 30,
formula?
25 boyfriends? Like,
yeah, are you okay with that?
That didn't sit well with me. That made me uncomfortable. What else? The men being so dramatic. I'm over Devin.
I like Devin.
Yeah, I am surprised by the amount of love that Devin has. He is such a walking ick red flag. I cannot stand him. I don't think he's like wrong in some of the things that he's saying. And I'm not by being anti-Devin, being pro-Aaron. I think they both just need to take a fucking hike. But like, Devin there are things about him that give me pause. I feel like we talk about this and I'm not always, it's hard, right? Because you're not coming on the show to make friends. That's not what it's for. But I also just, his behavior to me, the way he's going about it is just really not it for me. It feels like he's too arrogant. He needs to give a little bit more of a shit about what people think. Just a little. I'm not saying that like everything you have to do for the guys in the house because like bromances can go too far, but he just, I don't know. I can't like even fully quite put my finger on it, but I do not like him.
Okay.
He is a problem for me, but tell me why you do like him.
I mean, I don't know if I like him, but I don't dislike him. 1, I think he's at least creating interesting television. 2, and I told you this before, but I do feel like he kind of is playing the Maria role of this season where he just kind of says what he thinks and does what he wants. And he's unfortunately facing some similar repercussions of the house not liking
Oh
them.
my God, yeah. If somebody throws around the word bully one more time, Devin is not a bully.
Yeah, Devin
Like,
is not a bully. To
Okay.
me, the way Thomas acted was way more of a bully type thing to do than what Devin was doing. I
mhm.
do understand that Devin said he was going to respect that the men on the second group date didn't get as much time, and him going first was a shitty thing to do. If he wanted to go first, he just shouldn't have said anything. So I do acknowledge that he played that in a bizarre, stupid way. That being said, I do feel like I kind of like his personality for Jenn, and I like that he's kind of just no bullshit going to do what he wants. My issue with him is, even though I agree with a lot of the things he's saying, I wish he would just stop talking, because when he keeps talking and he keeps pushing things and he follows Thomas outside, he's like taking it too far. So he's
Yeah, just back off. Give people some space. Like,
Yeah.
you're already too much, and you inserting yourself when Thomas clearly needed time to calm the fuck down, like, you're not helping.
Yeah, he's fueling the fire in some instances. Like the ice cream thing with
Aaron.
where it was back and forth and back and forth. I was like, Jesus, this is too much.
Well, that's just sort of it for me. Like, the fact, and I know that producers probably push that, but it's gross to me. Like, I just am not here for that kind of behavior. And it starts to be more like a dick measuring contest to me, even though he's like trying to play it off as though he's just like really putting his best foot forward for Jenn. It reads to me really like that's not it at all. And that he's just really letting everybody know he's big gorilla walking. So I don't know. I'm not here for it. And I don't know. Blech.
I think Aaron, to me, is like way more of a red flag and an ick. And I can't tell if he's performing and doing all of this for a reaction, but I'm really surprised that Noah's brother is showing up this way on the show.
I am too. And to that end, I'm like almost not surprised. Like, it sort of feels like he's coming in compensating too. Like, and I just stop. Like, also, if you complain to the Bachelorette or the Bachelor, honestly, you don't win. When you make your time about somebody else, you lose. So, like, stop doing this.
Yeah, well, that just shows you they're not there for her, and they're just there
No.
to have airtime and
Or the
end up
times-
on Paradise.
Yeah. Yes. So, I don't know.
But Aaron telling Devin that he lacks depth in a relationship with Jenn, but he means it out of love. It's like,
Ew, that is like
Okay.
a level of manipulation that is gross. He
Yeah,
also had no
okay.
business giving. I thought that was really dirty to give Devin the book based on what happened to Noah in his season when he was on The Bachelorette. Like, yeah, Aaron is not it either. They're both red flags for me. And that sucks because, like, get better men on this show. You're telling me that this is the best you could do? These are the 25 most eligible bachelors in the fucking country? Man, we're doomed, or you didn't do your job.
also, Aaron needs to take those fucking pearls off because he cannot pull off pearls.
No, he looks so stupid.
He looks
with them.
so stupid.
Yeah.
Like, you have no swagger.
None.
You have to take off those pearls.
He is not cool at all.
You are a straight edge white boy.
so nerdy. Ew. Yeah, I'm with you.
I feel like the pearls just showed a huge lack of self-awareness.
1,000%.
Like, oh, I'm cool. I'm confident in my masculinity. I wear pearls.
Nope. He's just trying to be cool and he's not.
Any like date moments you want to talk about?
I really feel for Jenn having to jump out of that plane.
Ooh.
She was like legit scared, and I feel that in my fucking bones. And she did it, and that's really awesome for her. But I hate that like she had to do that. And then it turns out that she was more afraid of the snake than jumping
that
out
date
of the
was
plane.
awesome.
I thought that date was so cool.
I want to do a wild animal photo shoot.
Yes, I could not even. Everything about that I was in love with. I did really feel for Hakeem because I'm pretty sure it's a huntsman spider, and they are massive and they are fast, but they are very harmless. However, that was a huge ass spider. And if you are afraid of spiders and that gets put on your hand and it immediately runs up your arm to your face.
Poor Hakeem.
Oh my God. I love Hakeem so much. His energy cracks me the fuck up. I am here for him. He probably is not Jen's cup of tea, but he is mine.
And he's great television.
Great television.
I want to date the animal handler.
Oh, yeah, he was hot too.
I want to date the long-haired Australian man that was handling the animals.
Yes, please. Yeah, so that date for me really stood out. What about for you? Anything?
I was thinking about that date too. I'm trying to think. What was the first? Oh, it was the comedy show. That date was really disappointing to me.
Yeah.
That's why I kind of forgot about it.
I know, just like roast Devin, who we're all really pissed at. Lowering, though, I have to say, I really have a crush on Jeremy too, which is like probably my worst toxic trait ever at this moment. But him lowering the microphone for Jeremy to get up there and talk, and Jeremy like rolled with it, was pretty funny to me. That was hot on Jeremy's part.
Oh man, all the guys roasting Devin was so expected. I wish they had been more creative.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was an easy button for sure. Do better.
Should we talk about our picks for Final Four?
Yeah. So I did not bring a coin. Should I go grab one?
You want to do paper, rock, scissors?
Yeah, let's do it. Best 2 out of 3?
Do you do 1, 2, 3 shoot or 1, 2, 3?
1, 2, 3 shoot.
Okay.
Damn. Okay. You
Okay,
go first. Wait, but you didn't tell me your thoughts on if you go last, you get to pick twice, or is it just back and forth?
I mean, I feel like we haven't done the last picking twice in the past.
Okay, so let's
I feel like we gotta just roll.
Okay, we just have to stick with what we've always done.
I mean, I do think that makes more sense. If we want to be fair now, we can. What do you want?
Oh, I'm good. Let's just do what we've always done.
All right. My first pick's going to be Sam M.
Yep.
Because their sexual chemistry's off the charts. I don't think that he's the one for her. But I think he's definitely going to go really far with that chemistry.
Yes, absolutely he is. Okay. That's fine. This is why I picked backups. Listen, I hate this, but Jenn is so fucking into Devin.
You're picking Devin?
I'm picking Devin.
Wow, he was on my list.
I hate that for me.
I'm impressed with you putting him on your list.
Just because I hate him. But she's like all about it. She's like, no, I don't see you that way at all. He's making those moments. He's going out of his way. She's not seeing nothing but just like green flags from that man. So
also, he's creating drama, so he'll probably stay in the show a while.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, yeah. So that's my secret to this is I like scrub this season on. And there's a scene where she seems to be talking to all of the guys. And so I based it off of like, I kind of took like that group of guys and then narrowed it down from there.
Shit. Okay.
So it was also just like, he seems to have made it far.
I think that's a safe bet.
Yeah.
He was definitely on my list.
Okay. Who you got?
My second pick is going to be Grant.
Damn it. I waffled. I was like, do I pick Grant or do I pick Devin? And I kind of felt like Grant, I totally get. He feels like a little bit more of a wild card because we haven't seen a lot of him. But the way she was like leaning into him and he was asking about her and the conversation was flowing so easy. Like, no way that man doesn't make it far.
I know we don't know Grant very well, but like looks alone, I would date Grant.
Me too. Well, I just love like he seemed to be so thoughtful and engaging in the conversation in a way that some of these guys just are not. And it seemed to like be a really easy, effortless conversation between them. He's my top 4 too. This is why we pick 6 to 7 and not just 4. Okay.
This is hard. This is where it gets hard.
This is where it gets hard. Okay, listen, I'm going to sub one of my guys in that I didn't think was going to do it, but I'm putting Jeremy in there.
You have a thing for Jeremy.
God, that's what I told you. I just ended up going with guys that I am into.
Fine.
And yeah, we'll talk about my other pick. Okay, go.
I guess I'm going to say my number 3 is Dylan.
Oh, good one. Okay. There's no overlap there.
Dylan's really quiet though. Like I love that he got the group date rose.
Man, he stepped right up and he's like, just put that snake around my neck. It's okay if it blows up my brain.
I love that they talked about him doing the MCAT, and I don't know, they immediately
Yeah.
had something in common. I love that he was in the chess club. I don't know. I don't know if he'll go very far because of how quiet and sweet he is, but I think he's so handsome.
I completely agree. He's also the one who had pronouns in his Instagram profile. And like, it's the small things, you
Small
guys. It's like
things.
these little green flags that just like encourage you along. Actually, I'm really stupid for not picking Dylan, but that's okay.
Well, we don't know yet. We don't know if we're stupid or not.
I know, but that's a really good pick. I support that. Okay. Fuck, this is another real wild card for me. I feel like I'm reassessing. Okay, here's another real wild card for me. I don't even know. I am confused. Spencer.
He was on my list.
Damn, because right, he just seems to be around a lot.
And she said she likes him.
I know, which is I do not.
The pet entrepreneur. It turns her on.
I mean, I do get that. And, you know, I also probably would come across really bizarrely on reality TV, and I try and remember that. And, like,
Same.
she's seeing more of them than we are. So if she seems into him, I just have to remind myself she's probably into it.
Is there something about Spencer's complexion that looks off? I just feel like he looks a little sickly. Maybe it's from running all of the ultras.
Yeah, I agree. I'm with you. He's kind of got this like wide-eyed, startled. His energy's off. He's kind of
I don't
like
know. His pallor is wrong.
Yeah, like he's not. It's not looking good for him. I agree. I do not get it, but she seems like she likes him, and I can't tell. This was so hard for me because all of these guys are just like the worst to me. Not the worst. They're not. Dylan's
They're just
great.
not very impressive.
Yeah, and like I think the ones that are so quiet that are probably more normies that are like Brett and Jahim and who else went home? The guy who ate the pepper. What a stupid thing to do. But like the people that seemed kind of normal and that maybe she would be into seemingly all have like faded to the background. So I really struggled to pick. Yeah, anyway.
Okay, my number 4 is
Mhm.
going to be Shot in the Dark. Jonathan, Ace's bandage face guy.
That was so weird. It worked for him, I guess.
I thought they had a cute moment, like talking about his glow up and
Yeah, and then he shows up in like glasses and is super stylish. And,
yeah,
like
and
very
his
cute.
little socks.
He's like there in that Burberry scarf.
Oh yeah,
He also faded to the background. I think he
know.
might have left. Or is he still
Did he
here?
leave?
I don't remember.
I don't remember who went home.
I tried to write it down. Okay. This is not right. My last one though, even though I just said it. Hakeem.
I love him though.
Me
I hope
too.
he goes far.
I'm manifesting it, man. I'm like, that guy is good. He is a nerd in like the most fantastic way. I love his energy. He seems really genuine. He is little, has come apart over the spider. I get it, sincere. Like, I just love that he's also like not trying to be a macho man.
No, he's okay to show he's afraid of spiders.
Totally. I was so here for it. So I know that he's not gonna go far, but like I don't even know who else to pick at this point.
Hashtag Team Hakeem.
Team Hakeem. He can be our next bachelor, please.
I know that this will never happen, but I kind of want Rob to be the next bachelor
Rob.
from Love Island.
Oh shit. I'm like,
Or Jesse from Summer House, which I know you don't know, but I feel like either of them would be so entertaining, and they're both very attractive.
Rob as the bachelor would be excellent.
It would be so messy.
So messy. What's Onion Little Rob gonna do?
I
Are
don't know.
they gonna let him wear his overalls all the time?
What if he wore his overalls under a suit jacket without a shirt on?
He would. Oh man, I don't know. Yeah, that would be some wild.
I mean,
television.
networks wouldn't let it happen, but just throwing it out there in the universe.
Please, Rob probably has somebody that works at Peacock or something. I don't know how the hell did he make it that far. So maybe Rob's pretty privilege will get him to the Bachelor for you.
Probably not, but
Manifest. I don't know, but I would agree with that. We shouldn't even be worrying about who's going to be the next Bachelor. We're like what, 2 episodes in?
I know.
I brought it up, but. I don't know. I think this season is going to be a wild ride.
Do you think that she ends up alone? It seems like I don't know. The previews that they've shown us, I feel like they're kind of messing with us a little bit, but it looks like she almost just chooses no one.
Yeah, it does. They always get us though, right? Like you're right.
Like,
maybe.
does her toxic ex come in and she ends up with her toxic ex?
Well, he does come in.
Jenn, no.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
It
It makes me sad that she's like, I've always picked toxic men in the past and I don't want to do that again. And it's easy to say that out loud, but you really have to learn from those past experiences in order to like not repeat those patterns.
Yeah, and that can be really hard to do. Very, very hard.
Very hard.
And sometimes it takes a long time to even really fully know what that is, right? Like,
yeah, because it also is something about you. It's not just the other person.
no, it's like what is it about this that is like tickling something for me that draws me to this? Like,
Yeah.
what is this about me?
Like, why am I enabling myself to stay in a relationship that's not actually healthy?
Or seek out people who are like withholding or whatever it may be.
Yeah, like what do I need out of this that I'm not getting?
Yes. Yeah, what needs are not being met that are in a weird, fucked up way being filled by this? Like yeah.
Why do you need validation from this person?
Oof. Yep.
I just hope Jenn has learned and is gonna be smart.
Yeah.
Also because when she shared the story about her parents and how they didn't have a healthy marriage and she feel like her dad didn't care about her, like that's a lot of baggage to carry into relationships.
Dude, daddy issues too are brutal. And especially as they relate to men, it sucks.
So you're constantly maybe looking for this approval that you wanted from your dad, from your toxic partners. I don't know.
Yeah,
I just really hope she's
that's
okay.
actually really true. That kind of approval can be really detrimental, especially if like your dad was not somebody who gave that to you. So you've got another person who seemingly very withholding and then will in bursts give you that validation. It can be really easy to fall into that trap of like thinking that like, oh, this is what I need to strive for. And you don't. And you shouldn't be looking for that. I'm not saying that she is, but like, I think that that's a very real possibility there. Yeah.
We're not projecting this onto Jenn because we don't know.
We don't know, but just like it
we're
can
just
cause
musing.
problems. It can cause problems. Yeah. We don't.
We've all been in our own toxic relationships, and some of us are still in the same process of learning from them.
Even if like, man, it spreads to so many things too, not even just relationships. Like I still have to work on that in therapy with like in really roundabout ways, like the people in my life and how they all interplay and like what's happening there and what I'm getting from it and what I'm not and what hurt is causing me to seek this out.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. It's all connected.
it's so connected. And it can take a long time to unthread that too. I mean, hopefully she's been in therapy for a while. I mean, because it's not like this is a recent thing with her dad. So hopefully she has had the time to do it. But it does seem like we're headed for some pain.
Well, there's a line in the preview that I don't remember who she's saying this to, but she's like, I don't know how to show up in a healthy relationship. I've never been in one before.
Right. To not have that modeled for you, to not have existed in one.
Yeah, and I feel like that's a huge thing. Well, first of all, it's good to have awareness around that, but also that's a huge hurdle.
Huge, for sure. Yeah.
Well, we hope the best.
Yeah,
We're in
hopeful.
it to win it.
I'm excited for the next
Even
episode.
if the men suck.
25 of this nation's most eligible bachelors.
Wah, wah.
Okay, well, whatever.
Okay, we love you.
Yeah, please subscribe. Please download us. Please
Rate us.
Yeah,
Share
on
us.
Apple Podcasts. We are grateful, and we'll see you next time.
Okay, bye.
Drama Bonded is produced and hosted by Jessica Brumbach and Mandy Booth. Graphic designer is Pigeon House. Special thanks to everybody who has downloaded and listened to us. We are so, so grateful for your support. Thank you.
Getting down.